I first met Christian about a year ago. I visited the Hyde Park Academy in Chicago.
He sat down with us and shared his story. And to my surprise, he was just like me, growing up without a father, and sometimes not too concerned with school.
I could see myself in these young men. I told these young men my story then, and I repeat it now because I firmly believe that every child deserves the same chances that I had.
The White House asked a group of us, which included the mayor of New Orleans, the mayor of Philadelphia, and several other mayors, to come together under the banner of Cities United. And we had been working for several months prior to the president making his announcement of My Brother's Keeper.
And we're committed to building on what works. And we call it My Brother's Keeper.
This is not a federal government funded initiative. This is an initiative that we will have to depend upon the private sector. We will have to depend upon foundations and other organizations to help us look at what we can do to become effective in transforming the lives of young people who may not have hope at this point in time.
Can we just add child care resources to that before we? Yeah.
And we probably need to talk about that. I know that they were facing some issues in terms of being able to provide the necessary funding to support parents.
To actually provide them with jobs. Now, some of you, as I look around this room, I know you already have programs, for example, at the gas company, and I'm sure at UAB and other places, that can do those very things.
Everything is community. You don't see people who live in the housing community as as not a part of the community, because they are.
We try to fill as much of the gap as we can as a housing agency.
If you don't have like a solid foundation already, then they're really not gonna and I'm not saying reteach me the algebra, because I understand you don't have time to do that in college.
But I think, if you just said, hey, you gotta do this because this is gonna be important for you later, it's very hard to see.
What's the motivation?
What is the
motivation?
Maybe it's the parent that said, hey, you don't need that. Look at so and so.
One of the things was doing an assessment of what we have. And this very room has to get up from that charge of turn up and not continuing to tell the same story. And so while he goes out all over the world telling that story, we have to tell it in our own space.
We need to start meeting together to do this, to identify the services that currently exist.
If you'll stay in school, if you'll work hard, if you'll give your best, we'll be at the end of the process to make sure that you have access to college, access to careers and trade.
We think as a result of this work that we do together, we will improve the quality of life for our children and parents in the city of Birmingham.
He's kind of giving the movement a pulse that will be steady and strong if we don't let the conversation stop today. A pulse that will be strong if we continue to act upon all the ideas that we're sharing and exchanging.
The marching orders is for all of us to go back to our businesses, our programs, our institutions, and find out what can we do. It might be a small thing, just a small change that we can do that can affect in a positive way several individual lives. We got to create that same type of environment right here in Birmingham, that people have a sense of hope, that they can find whatever their dreams that they have in their heart and mind, that they can find it right here.